Good evening. This is the February 26, 2025 meeting of the zoning board of appeals down in Newcastle. Before we get started tonight, we're a little short handed. Mr. Nolan will be here, but he'll be late. Kathleen is not gonna be here tonight. So let me remind everybody that we are a 5-man board. You need 3 affirmative votes to get an approval. So you will need a unanimous yes vote for approvals tonight. If anybody is uncomfortable with that and would like to postpone to our next meeting, hopefully we'll have a full board. You have every right to do so, just talk to our secretary. If you're comfortable with the 3 of us up here, we shall commence. Everybody okay with that? Okay, in that case, let's get started.
Okay, the first case, public hearings is Rifkin, 8 Kittrell Road, Mount Kisco.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. Hope you're well. My name is Michael Testa. I'm here with Mr. and Mrs. Rifkin with regards to a proposal to legalize a patio located to the rear of their property. The Rifkins bought their property in 1998, and in 2005 they undertook a big addition to the residence. The addition was closed out in 2013 by a certificate of occupancy by the building department at that time. And evidently, at that time, there was a complaint made against the property with regards to a patio and a wall that was built without a permit. We didn't know about that complaint until we actually did a title search in October of this year, I believe it was, of last year. And as a result, the Rifkins have entered into contract with regards to selling their property, and this has come up as a red flag with regards to the purchaser. As a result, we tried to go into the history of this. We had an updated survey done by Tom Merritt's Land Surveying to try to depict exactly what the coverages were, as well as the development building coverages. And in our evaluation with that survey, we found out that the maximum development coverage was slightly over the allowable that was allowed. They're allowed to have 10,826.4 square feet. And they have provided 11,755.22, which was approximately 929 square feet over the allowable. The complaint letter mentioned the setback to the stone wall, that it required to be 35 feet, but my understanding is that the stone wall setback is not a part of the variance itself. It was just part of the complaint, so we just wanted to make it clear of what it was. And that's in terms of what we're trying to feel. We went through the principal points in attempting to try to balance the impact of the patio that has been existing for the last 13 years with the impact on the neighborhood. And we feel that the waiver that is being requested, given the property was granted a certificate of occupancy for basically for the pavement coverage that you see there, and the fact that it's on a hillside. The hillside allowed this area to be the only flat portion of the property that is actually usable for the family. The prior addition that was done and prior house had a large rear patio, basically mirroring what you see here now. And we have now made the application. We were informed by Tom that we had to get the variance for legalizing this patio. We feel that it's not out of character with regards to the being a requested variance being substantial. We petitioned the neighbors in the surrounding area, and I know the Rifkins have gotten, I believe there's 6 or 7 letters of support from the immediate neighbors that we have included in your packet, that they have no objection to the variance being requested for the patio and the wall that have been existing for the last 13 years. The alleged difficulty, whether or not it was self-created or not, was a question that we wrestled with. Obviously, when they built the patio, they built it. They were not quite sure that they needed a permit that time because it was part of the original. When the CO was granted by the town, the patio was under construction. And we have photos of that showing that, if you're interested in those, that actually show the patio in 2013 prior to the CO being granted, with the patio being under construction. So they didn't attempt to try to hide anything with regards to the patio. It's just that this all came out now recently in an attempt to try to sell it. whether or not be an adverse effect being physical or environmental, we believe that a patio has no impact on the physical and environmental conditions in the neighborhood as one of the issues pertaining to a granting of an area variance. The fact that the violation came to their attention 13 years after it was actually noted in the file was we immediately acted on it when we saw that it was granted and made the application to the board. If we knew it was issued back in 2013, they would have been here earlier or made it whatever necessary changes they would have had to make. And we feel that in conclusion, the relief from the municipal code pertaining to the required side yard setbacks and the maximum development coverage can be modified without impacting the neighborhood, and improvements be allowed to exist as constructed. And we feel that the request is reasonable in nature, and I could certainly answer any of your questions if that I could raise.
One thing, Mike, the patio in question,
Yes.
when the addition was done, the most recent work where you had a permit and it's all CO'd and everything.
That is correct. The CO
Was the patio included with the original document?
It was not. It was not. I went into the files and there was no proposed patio on the plans back in 2005. The permit was issued in 2005
Yeah,
and closed out in 2013.
okay, and so the patio was built after the other work was done.
Yes, but it was built prior to the CO being
Prior to
issued.
the CO being issued.
Yes.
I'm assuming it was done
I mean,
inadvertently that they
These are
didn't realize they needed
pictures of
a
all the
permit.
patio
Yeah, okay.
stones that were delivered in.
Right. So in the 13 years it's been there,
It has been there.
there has been no neighbors complaining or
Not at all.
anything like that?
Not at all.
No objections from the town?
None that we're aware of. We looked at the file, we did a file history search, and the parcel search came up with the only violation was the complaint in 2013. It wasn't actually a violation, it was just a complaint.
Complaint, right.
So there was never a follow-up violation letter issued by the building department, and I believe that's the reason why we didn't know about it, other than the fact that someone left file.
Yeah, okay. Nothing was ever done about it since.
No.
It's just, I get it. Okay, any good comments from the board? Okay, I don't have any other questions on that one. I'm gonna move, we close the public hearing.
Second motion.
Chairman Giordina.
Aye.
Ron Genzeg.
Aye.
Warren Gottlieb.
Aye.
I'll make a motion that the application, Merrill Rifkin, to legalize an existing patio, requiring a 26.5 foot side yard setback and a development coverage variance of 930 square feet. Is approved for the following reasons.
We didn't have public comment.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, we're gonna back up a minute. It's me. I didn't ask for public comment, I'm gonna ask for it now. I apologize. Anybody who wants to speak, please come forward if you have anything that you want to add or subtract from this application. Anybody online?
No hands are raised.
No hands are raised. Nobody in the room. Okay. I'm off the hook on that mistake. Alright, I will continue with my motion to reiterate, it's a 26 and a half foot where 35 is required, which would require an 8.5 foot side yard variance and a development coverage variance of 930 square feet for the following reasons. The Rifkins built a patio without a permit because they didn't believe they needed one, and it was innocently an innocent mistake done without any malice. The house sits pretty far back off the road. It's not visible from the road or it's not easily visible from the surrounding areas. The granting of the variance will not create an undesirable change in the character of the neighborhood. There is no other method other than completely destroying the patio to achieve the desired end other than to give this variance, and destroying the existing patio would be cost prohibitive and really counterproductive. This is not a substantial variance in this particular instance. There has not been and will not be any adverse effect on the physical environment or conditions in the neighborhood. While this is a self-created hardship, the benefit to the applicant will far outweigh any perceived detriment to the town or to the neighborhood. Do we need surveys on that, Tom?
The applicant has provided a survey to the building department.
Surveys have been provided. Therefore, for all the reasons stated, I move that we grant the variance.
Second motion?
Chairman Giordina.
Aye.
Ron Genzeg.
Aye.
Warren Gottlieb.
Aye.
We have your variance, good members. Next case, Ron.
Okay. Next case is Shields, 43 Whitlaw Close.
Hi, my name is Tim Leonard, I'm the architect for the project, Meredith Shields is sitting in the back row over there. We're here tonight seeking a front yard setback variance of 13 feet to allow my client to expand an existing garage. On the map you see up there, the area we're planning to expand is this area shaded in pink. You can see that the red line over here is where the building setbacks are, and you can also see that it's a pretty irregularly shaped lot, and for whatever reason, when it was built in 1970, they placed it here in pretty much the worst part if you ever need a variance, because they've already been here a couple of times. Not the Shields, previous owners have already been here about these rear yard variances, but we're seeking this to allow the garage and a room above it to be expanded. We're really in really good condition with regard to all the other coverages, building, development, and FAR. This is what the house looks like currently over here. And we had, at the last meeting of the ARB, we got their blessing on the aesthetics of the addition. This is basically the addition we're gonna put on right here, the part where we're expanding. So it'll be a side-loaded two-car garage with a room above it, office over here, and a bedroom over here. Just to kind of show you the plans a little bit. So right now, when you come into this garage, here's the side load, it comes in from here. Because the garage is at a split level from the main house, you got a two-story house, then next to it, they dropped a half a level and built the garage, and the room above it is a half a level above the first floor, so it's basically split in two. And to do that, you need stairs. And the stairs in this case dump right down into the garage, making it virtually impossible to park a car on that side. So the plan here is to expand out the front to get a two-car width here and be able to give them a nice little mudroom drop-off zone when you come into the house. We gave them a wider stairways to come up and down safely. Here's the footprint of the existing garage. You can see here, we're coming out about 6 feet for the main part of the structure, and I bumped it out another couple of feet, more for aesthetic reasons than anything else to avoid a really long flat wall. But all the storage you can get in a garage certainly helps. The space above is going to be a playroom, a small home office, and a bedroom, which, by the way, Tom, I got my Board of Health approval. He's gonna ask me next week anyway, so. So there's the existing space, it's just one big open room like that, and the extra space will really help out, because right now Meredith is doing her work in the dining room. Here. This is really annoying. So just elevation wise, you can kind of see what the before and after front looks like with the addition over here. We also purposely do things like drop knee wall heights to be lower than your standard 8-foot height. In this case, the side wall is 4 foot high, the dormer wall is 6 foot high, all to keep a nice scale and presence for the neighborhood. Like I said, the ARB was very pleased with the design. That's it.
One question on the bathroom and the bedroom.
Yes.
Are there any plans to make this an accessory apartment?
No. not at all.
And why do we need an extra bedroom?
Guest room. It's currently, it's not really an extra bedroom, we're actually relocating it from the basement. It's in a horrible spot in the basement, so we're gonna eliminate it there and put it up here. It's a 4-bedroom house, it was built as a 4-bedroom.
And it will remain a 4-bedroom.
Exactly.
Okay. Not that I'm against accessory apartments, and not that the town is, but just for the record.
Not in this
we wanna
case,
know
no.
that,
I wouldn't be here for an accessory apartment, that would be one of his guys doing that.
Other than that, it is a strange shaped piece of property.
I think that it probably in the original subdivision may have been intended as 2 lots, if you were to continue this line straight down. But then I think what they found out is that this lot really wasn't buildable for setbacks and everything, so they thought, well, just make it like a double lot and give them the extra space. And I don't know what possessed them to, they kind of centered it, I guess, on the overall front width. Would have been a whole lot better if it was over here, but it is what it is.
Well, actually, it's only an acre and a half, so you're really not 2 lots anyway.
It's close, that's what I mean, they didn't have quite enough for the 2 lots, yeah.
Okay. It just helps me to understand why they pushed all that stuff in one spot and encroached on
I'm not sure, I
sideline.
think there's like some rock outcroppings
Yeah.
back here, but over here, it's just nice wooded area, like looks like a perfect place for a house, but they chose to do it here for whatever reason.
Well, because they didn't have you design it.
Of course, that had to be the reason.
Okay, board questions, comments? Anybody in the room have any comments on this application? Anybody online with their hand raised?
No hands are raised.
No hands are raised. I'll move we close the public hearing.
I second the motion.
Chairman Giordina.
Aye.
Mike Nolan.
Aye.
Ron Genzeg.
Aye.
Warren Gottlieb.
Aye.
Do this one?
I think I'm not on. Am I on?
No, you're not on. It's a little button.
Oh, there we go, here we go. Oh, now it's off.
What happened?
Now it's on again. Testing, yes,
There you
okay.
go.
Alright. Okay, I make a motion in the application of Meredith and Andrew Shields, 43 Whitlaw Close in Chappaqua, to approve a variance, a front yard variance of 13 feet. The owner of the home has made his best effort to make the house at a human scale, keeping some of the knee walls lower and so on and so forth. The home is an existing non-conforming home at the present time. I think that, I'm not sure if there's anything else, but I think the property does not lend itself to having the building being done in a different location, although obviously they're adding onto the house in its actual location. The granting of the variance will not create an undesirable change in the character of the neighborhood or detriment to nearby properties. There is no feasible method other than a variance to achieve the benefit of those improvements on this property. The variance that being requested is not necessarily substantial. There will be no adverse effect or impact of the physical or environmental conditions in the neighborhood. This is a self-created hardship, but the benefit to the homeowners outweighs the self-creation of this particular hardship. Therefore, I suggest that we make a motion to approve this variance with 6 months to start and 1 year to finish.
Understood.
And you need what?
The building department would request a foundation and final survey.
No problem.
Building request, whatever, as he said.
I'll second that motion.
Chairman Giordina.
Aye.
Mike Nolan.
Aye.
Ron Genzeg.
Aye.
Warren Gottlieb.
Aye.
Thank you so much, board, I really appreciate it.
Take care.
Meredith?
Your last
Another
name.
Meredith. Really threw me for a loop.
Sorry, you.
evening. You have this up. I'm just gonna point to the board. Good evening, Ken Anderson with Granite Architects. I represent Chris and Lauren Meredith. Chris Meredith is joining us, and also joining us is Jameli Rodriguez from our office, who's been working on this project. We come to you tonight to get a few variances. We need a side yard variance, a development coverage variance, and an FAR variance. The Meredith's current property is an oversized property on 14 Wilson Road. It's in a 1 acre zone. It's 2.9, almost 2.9 acres. Oh no, I'm sorry, 3.297 acres. It's 2 lots that are adjacent to each other. So they own this large lot here, and then there's another vacant lot here. It's a flag lot sort of accessed off of what's the name of that road? No. Mackenzie and Hayrake, it's back in that little area. This was probably the original farm to the whole area around there. So there's a lot of agricultural buildings that are still part of this property. So there's a barn here, this is the main house, this is what we're talking about, which is another barn. And there's a pool over here. It should be noted that there is a wetland here, the buffer for this is this area here. And then there's this red line is the property line, and there's a stone wall that pretty much runs on top of that property line. The Merediths would like to repurpose this barn, which is very old, probably over 100 years old. It's in very much disrepair. It's a timber structure. There's a lot of timber beams that are rotting, falling apart. And it's been reinforced over the years, not very well. They do have this pool here, so they would like something that they could utilize to go back and forth instead of going up over here uphill to the house. I know it's far, but this is all wetlands, so we can't really put a new structure there. I don't know how the pool got there, but that's a different story. And in redoing this barn, they still wanna make it a timber frame barn. And they do wanna reutilize as much as the foundation as they can, and it's also been excavated through rock ledge, so we wanna kinda keep that same footprint of where it is. There's also a stone parking court that is worked around, so it's really the only space to fit it. This corner here is the tightest corner, and that's what we need our variance for. We are making it about a little less than 9 feet longer, the building in general, but that's further away from where the setback is. At its furthest point, it will meet setback. The existing driveways all work around this, so it fits in nicely with the estate that's already there. The variances that we need that are before you is a side yard variance for 18 feet, a development coverage for 2,812 feet, and an FAR variance of 296 square feet. We feel none of, while these are requests, it's a large lot, almost 3 times the size of what a normal lot would be in this area. It's a very private lot, not too many people can see it. There was a letter we got from a neighbor who was concerned about looking at it. We just got that yesterday, but I did provide, I'll give it to you because it'll be easier. This is just, I don't know if you were given that letter, but they were concerned that they would see it more, so. Yeah, you can, yeah, sure. So this just pictures of the barn and their property, if you flip. Sorry, maybe you can do that for me, Anthony. Yeah, that's their house, right there. Yeah, it's if you go on Google Maps, yeah, you can see it when you pull up. It's 225 feet or 220 feet from this structure. And if you look at it on this map, maybe this is easier. This is in the back of all your this is our structure and that's their house. They're concerned that they see it here, which, yes, they will see it. I will note that this is an old GIS. There
We
was,
need the mic. You don't have to leave,
Yeah.
just bring the mic with you,
oh, okay.
because our home audience is not gonna be able to hear you.
Yeah, sorry. You know, we would normally, they wouldn't have seen this, but there was a lot of clearing done on this lower parcel, so now it is visible. So, you know, if some of that understory was grown up again, it wouldn't be seen.
Who did the clearing?
I don't know, it was on their property, so I'm
Oh, so
assuming that they did it
they
or
cleared it themselves and
or
created
somebody
their own. Okay.
before them cleared, I don't know who exactly.
Okay, so it's not on your client's.
No, our buffer of 15 feet is really their driveway, so.
Okay, and I have a question too.
Sure.
There seems to be a question as to whether you're gonna rebuild an existing barn, or you're gonna demolish it and build a whole new one.
We're gonna demolish it and build a whole new one.
Okay, so there's the question, when you build a whole new one, the roof height is going to be the
Well,
same, higher, lower?
It's gonna be slightly higher, it's like 3-4 feet higher than what it is. We're go ahead.
Still meets the code,
Oh, it still meets the code, yes.
okay,
It's 25 feet.
okay.
Yeah.
Alright,
So this is the neighbor's driveway here?
No, actually, this is our client's driveway.
Okay.
This driveway is on Hayrake,
here we go.
so it's just off screen here, but I think their driveway's here.
Right, so their property must go up to your
This is the property line, and this is new property, and this is the client, the neighbor
The
that
neighbor.
has concern.
Right.
Oh, and if you look at what's on the screen, the red is what exists, and the obviously that's the proposed beyond it.
Okay,
So they're currently able to see the structure that's there now, it's just gonna be a few feet higher.
Yes, correct.
Is this two separate building lots?
All the structures are on the main lot, which is let me see, there's 2 lots. There's a lot that's 2.279 acres, and then there's a smaller lot, which is right at the beginning of the property here, that's a little over 1 acre.
So is the development coverage being predicated on both lots or just the main lot?
Just the main lot.
yeah, that was my question, is the other lot combined, or are they?
They're separate lots, right?
These two. Sorry.
Legally, are they separate lots?
Separate.
I don't know enough. I
Yeah.
bought them at the same time, it was part of the same sale,
Yeah.
part of the same.
So the
Isn't the rule in town is if you own, they combine them, right?
Depends on the date of the joining of the lots.
so
I think they're tax lots, it's counted as one. As
right,
one.
cause what I was wondering is that the additional land, is it sellable as a piece of property?
No, it's an unbuildable lot.
They're separate lots,
Yeah, they're
it's lots
separate.
37 and 38.
Okay. Because that changes the complexion, if you can take that off, it makes the other lot smaller and makes the ask bigger, makes the lot smaller and the ask bigger,
Yeah,
my opinion.
I don't really think it's a buildable lot because the wetlands really encroach upon that other lot significantly. It's probably why it is a separate lot.
So why wouldn't it say combined?
I don't know. Your guess is good as mine.
But it's not combined, it's not combined for the development coverage. That's what I'm trying to get to.
Let me see. Take a look at the application. Hold on, I have to do higher math.
Okay. Yeah.
Does that mean that it's
That's the two lots, yeah.
But he has made the allegation that they're combined in on.
It is taking the areas of both.
It is taking the.
Yes.
3.29 or
3
whatever.
point, yeah, that's what it is. I apologize.
Okay.
I thought maybe we could get around that. Just use one.
So,
I'm gonna ask our council about how do we handle this where they're using the two lots as the square footage of the property, but they're two separate lots.
If the lots aren't merged,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, if they're not merged, why aren't they separated as to the side, like they're talking a lot area of almost 3.4 acres, 3.39 acres. I'm assuming it means the two lots.
yeah,
Yes.
yes.
But if they've never been merged,
Mhm.
why are you not saying that the lot that has the residence on it and the barn on it, et cetera, as one size and the additional lot is another size? I have a problem with the combination if they've not been officially merged.
Understood. It's a good question. I guess they could be merged in the future, or we can recalculate the numbers just based on the one lot with a building. I guess there's two options.
Because that would change,
That changes the number.
the development coverage
Certainly,
requirements.
yeah.
Do we know if the homeowner receives separate tax bills?
it's one tax bill.
One tax bill.
One thing,
Like they could just combine
so
I know, I was just wondering.
I'm not a legal expert, but if I got one bill, I'd say it was one lot.
That is, no, I think.
Yeah,
I don't know what
I think they've also
what our council
purchased
thinks
it
about
as
that.
one lot. We
Well,
only
no,
saw
I
that it
mean,
was
that's-
two lots when we got the survey, and I don't know if it's just because Merritt said historically this was the lot line, and I don't know.
I see.
Were these conveyed with one deed or separate deeds? One deed.
Smells like one lot.
I know. Well, you know, I'm not doing this because I'm
I understand, I
either
don't wanna,
for or against, but
yeah.
I'm doing it to prevent
sure,
a comeback later
yeah, yeah,
when
yeah.
somebody says, oops, you guys made a mistake,
I
and
appreciate
you have to come back all over again. I'd rather get this ironed out now
Yeah,
and get it all straightened out, that we know what, when we make our motion, that we make a
Sure.
motion that's going to be valid.
yeah, of course.
So the question really is what triggers automatic merger? Was it triggered in this instance?
I'm just looking up a section of the code.
This one and this one.
Sorry, the most complicated.
Because,
last-
well, no, you don't want us to go home too early, do you?
I was always told in this town, if you didn't purchase them separately, they would automatically combine them.
Yeah, but there's a time limit on that. Only our building inspector's more versed in that
That
than
is
we
a
are.
correct statement if it is an undersized lot.
Hmm.
Being just over 1 acre, it
Ah,
may not
I see.
automatically have merged.
I gotcha.
Just trying to get pull up a copy of the code real quickly, if I could just have a minute. It's not cooperating,
Not
of course.
cooperating. Electronics are out
What
to
section? I think I have a copy of the code here. I might be able to, what section?
60-428,
60-428.
yeah,
I think I have that. Let's see.
that'll be quite a save
No,
there,
I
Mark.
do. Every once in a while I have something. No, it is, I know, don't tell anybody, okay. I do think I have that. I do. Would you like to see it? Come on up.
That's great.
I even brought this for you. There you go. Nope. my
Give me
mom
any
was
extra credit.
Too late, Tom. Yep. But he's got the big book.
Oh, yeah.
Can you pull up, we submitted the survey from Merritt's, can you pull
Yeah.
that up?
Yeah, let me. No, Ken, that was one with the password, I couldn't see it.
Oh.
Remember? I had to say.
Actual survey. I got it somewhere.
He's only referring to
1038, so actually, but they still preserve.
When we get into
I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure this is the one I couldn't save because I needed the password.
Totally silent.
No. Oh,
So. I don't know if this helps, council. Yes. This is the survey and it's a whole property, this just says tax lot line, I don't know,
Is this,
this is the.
yeah, and see, here's, you know, it designates tax lot 3738, but it doesn't show the. But I think the more important thing is that we know that lot 37 is a over 1 acre lot, right? So it's ostensibly is a buildable lot.
With a wetland completely like in the middle of it.
Our meets and bounds don't define separate lots, they define
Yeah.
one lot. We don't have any meets and bounds for this divided lot.
This is private survey.
Correct, that's the only survey, this determination.
Has to come back for
Would
review.
this survey not demonstrate meets and bounds for separate lots?
It's 2 lots.
I mean, a private survey could be done either way.
Okay. No, there's no further frontage issue. This property has not enough frontage to support another lot. It would not have the minimum 150 feet
So
required.
even though it's big enough,
Right, other aspects are not.
but then then that goes, again, goes back to whether or not.
This predates our code. But under current code conditions, 150 linear feet is needed to have a building lot on road frontage. Right now, if this is Wolfstead Road, they might have whatever that is. 57.77 code.
I think we have to understand the merger provisions a little bit better because
Or
I
have
mean,
proof of the lot.
because you know, I mean, it's pretty straightforward, the development coverage and building coverage talk about maximum coverage for any lot containing a one-family detached dwelling.
Right.
That's any lot, so if these are independent lots and aren't merged automatically, you know, by the terms of the code, then there might be a problem.
Exactly.
So because it's over the
Size, minimum
1 acre,
consent.
it would not have been automatically merged over
Well,
time.
No,
That's what we're trying to
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
figure out, like what the exact terms of the
Sure,
automatic
sure.
merger are and how the
And what would be a deciding factor if it's merged or not? Is it a record in town, is it a deed, is it a?
that's what
That's
I'm
the key.
trying to, that's the question, yeah. Provisions are, 'cause like,
If you go into undersized lots, there'd be merger provisions, but this is not an undersized lot.
it's undersized lots.
The merger provisions only in the undersized lot section.
Absolutely. I'm not exactly sure where you're gonna find that.
I saw,
So go into find other lots.
Yeah, right.
Which one?
yeah. It's right here. And it says probably new buildings on a substandard lot.
No,
What are you talking about?
Go for C.
I wanna show them that the property was surveyed as one. Yeah. But he's saying because there was no title company.
But the reality is like with the wetlands,
I know,
you can't build
I
anywhere
know,
like without a driveway.
no, I agree, but
It's interesting how that.
Provides that.
Yeah, right.
I think he has to legally see that it.
That's been.
Yeah. And maybe might have to adjourn to the next one until they figure that out, or we find some.
Substandard lot means someone's having less than.
Apologize. Probably should have gone through this before.
Yeah,
Correct.
so that's the
It's
only.
not fair lighting. This has to have at least 1 acre.
That's like-
That would be-
It's one of the older
So it
properties.
doesn't say a non-buildable lot, it says a substandard lot, it says a lot that's not big enough.
Correct.
It doesn't say a lot that is not buildable. See,
This-
the problems, I mean, just from
Sorry.
looking cursory, is that this merger provision is talking about lots that are, because Tom was pointing out, even if this is over an acre, it may still not be a buildable lot.
Well, correct, I mean, it's got this wetland right in the
Yeah,
middle.
this is gonna prohibit.
Right, but the problem is that the code doesn't provide for automatic merger of a lot based on it being not buildable. It talks about automatic merger of lots being substandard, meaning, and it says lots having less than the minimum area. So
And that's the defining term of substandard.
well, I mean, based
Less-
on,
less
you
than-
know,
yeah, based on this.
just cursory look
Yeah, yeah,
at
yeah.
at this. And then that would throw, that wouldn't affect the setbacks, but it would affect
Well,
the coverage areas.
I think I have a way out of this, maybe, you guys will have to tell me yes or no. My concern is the development coverage. Because we're working on a development coverage based on the two lots,
Right.
the 3.39 acres.
Right.
But I'm looking at my notes and in this particular instance, if the lot is 87,120 feet or more, then your allowed development coverage is 17,362 feet, okay? If we took the lot in question off the table, you're still talking about 2 acres of land.
Right.
So you're talking about double the 87.
Right, but then the
So-
problem is that then you know, you can grant a variance for less, but not more than what's noticed and requested, so even under those circumstances, it would have to be
Because,
renoticed.
well, you're still granting, if we should grant, I'm not saying we are or we're not.
Right, right.
But if assuming you're gonna grant, the existing coverage is 20,175. Or the proposed rather, is 20,175. Whether you take off the other land or not, it's still that coverage. And it's still less than, it's still the same percentage more than if you consider the two lots as one, or you take the one lot, the little one point whatever acre it is, and get rid of it.
Right.
It doesn't, in my estimation, and you can all check your numbers if you like, it doesn't change the difference. The difference, like we're talking about 116% of the allowed, so it's only a 16% variance that we're dealing with. Whether you're talking with the two lots together, it's a 16% variance, and whether you get rid of that other one, it's still only 16 because you're allowed a huge amount once you're over the 87,120 on the land. So but I would be happy to approve something like this, but I don't wanna approve something that's come back later and say you guys made a mistake because you made a mistake on the without adding the other lot or without taking the other lot away.
I don't understand how the calculation can end up the same if this calculation was based on the combined lots.
Okay, it won't be the same, but you're still gonna be allowed 17,362 square feet of coverage, because you're double, you have more than 87,120, even if you take the lot in question, if you take it off the table.
And there's no coverage.
Right,
You're
they hit
still
the
over 2
benchmark on
acres.
coverage at that point, from
Right.
2 acres.
Yeah, you're still over 2 acres, and if you're
Right.
over 2 acres, no matter how much land you have, you can have 10 acres or 50 acres, you're still allowed that much.
Mr. Chairman, I just wanted to add this. If we recognize lot 37 as being a separate lot, then our setbacks are not correct on the plan. It would have to have its different setbacks shown.
So that's a whole other ballgame.
It's a different look at this
Okay.
point.
I was only concentrating
Right.
on the coverage, not
We
the
would have to
setbacks.
come back next month to ask for different variances.
It sounds like we have to definitively figure out that this is one lot.
Right.
And that would be the
If
easiest.
you
maybe
could,
we just-
if we could determine, I wish we could do it tonight.
Yeah,
quite
it sounds like
frankly.
we
But
can't
if we
do
could
it.
determine that even though they're separate numbers, it's in effect a merged lot, everybody's off the hook, it's not bad at all.
Yeah.
But how are we gonna do that? How are we gonna find that out?
Well, we'll have to take a closer look at the code.
We would need a copy of the deed.
Copy of the deed and the assessment records, I mean,
I mean, there is a way out, that the applicant just merges the lots, but it's gonna cost him time and money.
that would cost time
And
and money.
and
And also,
I don't like to waste time and I hate to spend money, so
in that order. Not that
I'd
order,
like,
actually.
I'd like to help if possible, you
Yeah,
know what I mean?
but it's also possible from,
Can we
What you're
issue
saying is that-
a conditional, if it is one lot, then it's okay? Is that possible?
I think I think it would be better to make the determination and then, you know, put in a final, you know, either a final.
This is a public record, yes, I
Yeah.
agree with you.
Yeah, I think that would be better. I think it would be better to get the answer and then base the analysis on the final condition as we
Okay.
determine it to be, instead of, you know,
So what we're gonna do is we're going to adjourn this
Sure.
until our next meeting.
Yeah.
In March.
Okay,
if there's
Hopefully
any.
by that time you will have made some determinations as
and I
to how-
assume it's if Chris Meredith finds his deed and it's in that meets and bounds or whatever, it describes it as one lot.
That would be great.
That's all it would have to be. And if it doesn't, what's the process? Is it planning board to merge the
Well,
lots?
yeah, that's why I'm trying to get away from that, because when you
Yeah.
then you're involved with the planning board and a whole bunch of other stuff, which is again, time and money.
And like you suggested, even if they are separate lots, it would have to be redrawn, but
Well, in that case, if
If it's separate lots, I could just redo
if
this
they're separate
application.
lots, we would have to just adjust your ask.
Yeah.
Because
Right.
now your setbacks are come into play.
Right.
I'm concentrating mainly on the development coverage.
Right.
But once you determine the fact that that is a separate lot and you don't wanna merge them,
Yeah,
I mean, that's an out too, rather than go through the process of merging all these lots,
yeah.
if you could calculate what the new setback would be using just the lot that has the structures on it, then you can come back and ask us for variance on those figures too. You know, I'm not gonna say we're gonna give it to them, but I'm not gonna say we're not either, it's just a matter of what it comes out to be.
I'm also wondering, if they were two separate lots, they would have to have been an easement for the driveway. There's no,
That's a different problem.
But
there's
they'll
no
all-
easement shown.
You're opening a can of worms that we don't wanna get into.
That's, nobody has the appetite for a can of worms. Okay, so we'll do some homework on that.
yeah.
Mr. Chairman,
Okay, so I'm going to,
the neighbor is online with his hand raised.
oh, good, alright, so let him, we have, he's gonna be on the online, okay. We have one neighbor who'd like to make some comments on this before we adjourn, let's,
We are gonna keep the public
we're
session.
not gonna close the public hearing.
Right, okay,
No,
so-
no, we're not gonna close the
So,
public.
okay.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can,
Okay, hi, good evening, my name is Bill Matek, I am the owner of 10 Herrick Lane. Me and my wife, we were the ones who submitted the comment letter. So, I mean, we lay out in our letter, you know, we're looking at this barn as it exists now all day, every day. You know, we have used it as a key area of our home. Both of our home offices look directly at it. Our master bathroom, our master bedroom have windows that are, you know, facing directly at this. And the existing structure is really right on the line. There's a driveway there. So there's really, you know, just that small driveway, and then it's our property. You know, we've got multiple concerns with this. I mean, you guys have clearly wrestled with one of the issues that we didn't raise in the comment letter, which is the fact that the calculations were based on 2 lots. You know, in addition to the discussion that you guys had here, I just want to point out that all the development, this is a piece of property that has multiple outbuildings in addition to the main building and the one that's under consideration right now. All of that development is concentrated on the north side of the property, you know, which is closest to us. You know, it's been said here that the other lot is all wetland, so it's not buildable, but I mean, if you actually look at where that wetland line is drawn, there's plenty of space on the lot. On that other lot, it is the second lot. So, you know, we have concerns with the, you know, combining them for purposes of this calculation, but down the road, who knows what could come back and be requested. Going and to what we put in the letter, I mean, there was flashed on the screen some additional elevations which weren't part of the original submission earlier. You know, we were concerned that it was clearly a larger footprint. We, you know, had suspicions that it's going to be taller. You know, that was confirmed by what was shown earlier. I mean, to my eyes, eyeballing at the structure, it's going to end up, the surface area that we're looking at is going to end up being 30-40% larger. You know, to the architect to calculate what that actual increase is, but it does feel quite significant to us. There was one window shown on that plan. The existing structure has no windows facing our side. There was one window shown on that elevation. There's also a window as drawn on one of the floor plans that I didn't see on that elevation, so potentially there's another window there. So, you know.
That was drawn in error. There's no regular windows, there's just
There's no window on this side.
just a tall window in the gable.
That's under
Well,
the same.
It's
Okay.
just,
We're assuming it's under the same. Right.
it's just this window, and then these are French doors that have sliding barn doors.
Right.
Yeah, it's just the one in the gambrel side.
Well, you know, in any case, just to wrap up here, I mean, from our perspective, these regulations exist for a reason, and they're to, in my mind, to address some of the concerns that we have here. So, you know, this is a big piece of property. There's lots of land on that property where, you know, other development could be, you know, could be made. So, you know, we're not seeing any compelling reason to grant variance.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
As the, Mr. Matzek, am I pronouncing your name right? I don't want to
Yeah, that's
I want
fine.
to ask you a question about the visibility of the barn from your residence. Has it always been, because there was some testimony earlier, not testimony, but there was some discussion earlier that there was a buffer of some, I don't know if it's vegetation or trees, and there was some clearing. I mean, was there always the same visibility or not? I'm trying to.
Yeah, I can comment on that. So I mean, there is some, you know, there is no and never was any evergreen trees between the two properties. We purchased this property and moved in, I think, shortly before the Meredith, 2.5 years ago at this point. You know, probably in the 20 years before we purchased the property, not a dollar had been put into landscaping. There was a number of down trees. That whole area was infested with invasive vines, weed trees, you know, tree heaven, Norway maple. So we did, you know, as part of cleanup when we acquired the property, we had somebody come in and, you know, clean up, you know, remove all the fallen trees, clean up some, you know, some of the invasives. We did some of that ourselves. So yeah, there probably was some, you know, you probably have a somewhat increased sight lines there, but, you know, we basically removed trash that was sitting on our property. It was not a deforestation by any means.
Thank you.
Anybody else have any comment on this application? Alright, that being said, we're going to postpone the Meredith application until our next meeting. And the architect will come back with new information for us and hopefully get this lot business resolved.
Okay. Thank you.
That's it. And
Do you wanna hold on to this to the next meeting?
Sure.
It's probably just one of, this at least, that,
We'll hang on to the rest of these lots.
Okay.
Unless you want us to hang on to that, we can do that.
I'm gonna hang on to mine.
Yeah, this is all in yours.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Sure, thank you.
Alright. See you next month.
What is that?
Pardon me?
What's the date of the next meeting?
March 26th.
Alright, next is the approval of the minutes. I'll make a motion that we adopt the minutes of the January 29th, 2025 meeting.
I second the motion.
Chairman Giordina.
Aye.
Mike Nolan.
Aye.
Ron Genzeg.
Aye.
Warren Gotti.
Adjournment is in order, I move we adjourn.